welcome to the Geek Easy Lounge, fellow geeks, where today we will be talking about The Nice House on the Lake, Volume 1. I remember buying the first issue in floppy and just not being, well, actually sort of being on the fence about it. I was intrigued, wasn't super impressed, and it wasn't bad enough for me to not get the second issue. It seemed interesting, but for some reason I just didn't get the next one. And I knew at some point there was going to be a trade coming out, so got this. It's only $9.99. This is the first 6 issues. So the basic gist of this is there's a group of friends. There's with one guy at the center. There's like 3 of them from high school, and then they kind of expand out. Some of them know each other, some of them don't, but they're all kind of a circle of friends with this one guy at the center. And his question was, that he always asked them, is, how do you think the world's going to end? And this book starts out with all of them showing up at the nice house on the lake. And coming into this beautiful house, this beautiful lake, and you're being introduced to each one, because there's, how do we put it, the writer, the writer, the consultant, the reporter, the pianist, and all that. It's just different people, and so you're introduced to them, and each one has a little symbol. And at the end of the first issue, the answer to how how the world ends is answered, because it's going to happen. And it turns out that they were all brought together by this one dude, the one mutual friend of all of them, as a way of keeping them away from the destruction of the world. And then the next few issues, it takes over like the next month or 5 weeks of the events that go on, and there's kind of solving of the strange mystery that's going on as to what the events that are happening. And it's weird. It's James Tynion IV. I should have brought this up beforehand, but it is written by DC. It's a black label, and it's James Tynion IV doing some of his, I don't want to say better stuff, but it is good stuff. It's non-superhero. It's intriguing, but I think at some point he tries to get a little too artsy. I mean, not with art, but the way it's done, because you have some of it is just you can see how they do that. They have the people, then they have the little, what do you call them, the little blurb saying, "Oh, this is the pianist, and he knows them from such and such a time, and they've known each other for this long." And then there's also, let me see if I can find this. Should have marked it in here. But they have pages, just kind of information overload right here. But there's also little segments. Come on, show me where this is. Of just solid writing. It's like this. And it seems to me a little. It kind of jolts you out of the story because you're following along, the panel to panel to panel, and then the next thing you know, it's sort of like someone transcribing a conversation. Because you can see here there's the conversation between them, and it's just written down. So why not just have it drawn? Like, it's why switch back and forth? So that I found that a little, I don't want to say jarring, but it pulls you out of what you're doing, and then you have to mentally shift, and then you have to go back when the next couple of pages it goes back to the art. That I may or may not get the next one. I mean, I do want to see what happens, but it depends on my mood when I find out when Volume 2 comes out, and if I want to continue dealing with that. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5, and say if you're kind of a fan of Tinian and that style of storytelling, I suggest you get it, but I'm only going to give it a 3 out of 5. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your comics.